Hey viewers, welcome to my YouTube channel. And please, if this is your first time of seeing my face, do well to click on the subscribe button and on the notification bell so that you can always get notifications when I post new videos. And if you are a subscriber and a constant viewer, I had you guys. Have you ever considered what red flags really are? You're in a relationship and you're seeing red flags and you're like, it doesn't matter. Really? You really think it doesn't matter? Well, if you actually think that red flags doesn't matter, or the red flags you're seeing, they don't really matter, then I think you need to think twice, because truly sometimes we are the causes, or we are actually the reason why we go through some of the bad things that happen to us. Now imagine being in a relationship and you're having a lot of red flags, and then you still close your eyes, close your ears, close everything that is supposed to make you have a rethink, and you go into marriage with that person, and then you start having problems tomorrow. You start blaming the devil. That's what we are very good at. It's like, it's the devil, really. Well, sometimes it could be the devil, sometimes it's not actually the devil. It is we who cause the problem ourselves, because we refuse to take the warning signs we have been shown a long time ago. Now, some of what are actually red flags? Red flags are those things that you see in a relationship that is supposed to be like a turn off. It should either determine your way forward, or like, would you continue or you're backing out. But sometimes we ignore a lot of it. Now you're in a relationship and you're being physically and verbally abused, and you feel it doesn't matter. I listen to some ladies at times and I'm like, are you really thinking straight? A man is hitting you while you're still in a relationship, and then you say you love him and he does that because he loves you a lot. Really? You beat somebody because you love them when the person is not a child? It doesn't really, I don't know, but to me it doesn't make sense. And it becomes something worrisome, because you watch the person walk down the aisle with such a man, and then when the man becomes, of course you should know that if he is beating you while you guys are still in a relationship, you're going to turn to a punching bag by the time you get into his house, because he owns you at that point. Like, he has paid for your dowry. In fact, he has brought it to his house, so it's more like, I can do with her what pleases me. So why ignore such a red flag? Why ignore such a warning signal? And then when he starts hitting you, when you guys are married and you can't bear it anymore, you start looking for who to run to, whereas the signs were shown to you early enough, but you decided to ignore them. Sometimes some people will tell you that, yes, after beating me it speak, and you start making stupid excuses for them. Like, excuses like, he didn't do it on purpose, he was angry, that's why he was. Yes, he was angry, and so are there not better ways for him to handle his anger other than hitting you? And then you hear things like, he apologized. Yes, he apologized, and he still did it the next time. So what makes you think that if he gets married to you, it's going to be different? Maybe at that time, say, he won't even apologize anymore, because after all, what's he apologizing for? Yes, what is he apologizing for? So please learn to take warning signs. And then you see some people, you're shown red flag of stinginess, and babe, you're still there. Guy, man, what are you doing? Like, you guys have been dating for years and you can't pinpoint one thing that she has ever bought for you. You can't pinpoint one thing he has ever bought for you. Even if he has not bought something that you can always point, like, you can't remember at any point over the years or over the months you guys have been dating that he or she has spent a dime on you. Babe, run. Oh, I don't know what you're still doing. Because no, I've read or seen stories whereby um usually it's the men. I've read stories about, like, the person is will buy a bag of rice and would measure, like, and tell you this bag of rice is supposed to stay for 1 year, this bag of rice will stay for 6 months, and then if it stays less than that or your is your case, like you're so on your own, that is a high level of it. So, like, please, when you start getting the warning signals, pick ways if you have to pick ways, or address the issue. It doesn't mean that once there's a red flag you have to run. There are times you have to sit down, talk about it, and resolve the issue. And then if it can't be resolved and you feel you can't cope with it, the bottom line is something you can cope with. Something that might be a red flag to me might not be a red flag to someone else, because there might be some things I might be able to cope with, and then you might not be able to cope with it. It depends on what you actually want. That's all. But there are some things that are just red flags, like physical abuse, verbal abuse. It is not dependent on anybody. As far as I'm concerned, it is a general red flag. Like, red flag, you shouldn't be in a relationship where you're being beaten. You shouldn't be in a relationship where you're being talked down on, like you have no worth, you have no value. Yeah, so you should consider these red flags. I've heard stories of, and when I hear such, it baffles me, like how, I don't know, but I won't even think twice to take such step or take such decision. Like, you hear where a guy is insisting that the lady he's in a relationship with should put his picture as her DP. I don't get it. Why should I use your picture as my display picture or as my profile picture, whereas you use someone else's picture as yours, or your own picture as your own DP, and then you come and decide for me what to use on mine? Like, who does that? I've heard real cases of that happen, and it baffles me why you won't see that as being. It's just like like some people say, clicking on a website that you don't intend to browse through. Like, you're clicking on it, but you really do not want to go through what is on that website. Forcing the person to use your picture as her DP is more like trying to stop interested suitors. Because once, if I am a man, for example, and I see another man's picture on your DP, when I ask you, I'll be forced to ask you, who is this person? And what do you want to tell me? He's your brother. He's your brother, really? So when you start, that DP alone is enough to create questions, and that will stop intending suitors. That will stop people that might be serious. You lose such opportunity. Like, that's a red flag. You see some people express a lot of insecurity. Like, I've had a scene, in fact this one has happened to me, whereby you're on a call and the person is calling and your line is saying number busy. If normally I expect you to end the call, because it's obvious the person is on another call, but you keep calling and calling and calling and disturbing the person's ear from the call he or she is making. And then, like, that is not enough. When the person now gets to talk to you, you're like, who were you on phone with? What's your business? Who I'm on call with is not supposed to be a problem to you, because it could be a he, it could be a she, and whether it is a he or a she, it's not supposed to be your business. Actually, it's not supposed to be a problem to you. Even if you're married to the person, that shouldn't be an issue. So if in a relationship you are trying to have such authority, for me I would say it's a red flag. It's a sign of jealousy. That's why. Who is the person? So for me, I will tell you that it is a he. That's what you want to hear, Abby. Yes, it is a he. go and do whatever you want to do. So if I tell you it is a he and you feel these things are red flags. They are red flags. They might look very little, but when you think deep, you will discover some of the impending reasons or the hidden reasons why they actually red flags. Like this call issue I mentioned, for me I would say is a sign of jealousy. Like it means you won't even want me to associate with any other person, any other male once. And the funny part of it was that in my own aspect where it happened to me, it wasn't even like I was dating the person. No relationship, or just on friendship basis. We are just friends and he has intentions, but then he wants to make it look like, like I'm on a call, you call, and then when I pick your call you're like, who was that? What's that supposed to mean? So please, my dears, do not take red flags for joke. They are actually flags, like indicators to impending dangers. That is why I'll target. So let me say red flags are indicators for pending dangers. Please take red flags serious. Please do well to leave in the comment box other red flags you think. What are the red flags you think or in a relationship? Do leave it in the comments and do the needful. If it requires sitting down to talk about it, do that. If it requires speaking race and running and not turning back, please run as fast as you can. Thank you for watching, and please, if you're yet to subscribe to this channel, please do not forget to click. Maybe this is not your first time of seeing my face, so you've been watching but something has been stopping you from clicking that subscribe button. Please just stay that thing to leave you alone. Click on the subscribe button, subscribe to my channel so that you can, and always click on the notification bell so that you can get notifications.